I don't blame in this case
Truth.
the person who's saying that I'm protecting the residents in my state.
Hello, hello, and hello. Welcome to you all. So happy that you stopped by The Conservative Poet with me, Amania. Today's video is about my boy, my new friend, if you want to call him that, Mr. Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm feeling Mr. Ramaswamy when I tell y'all I'm all over that. I'm all over that. I love what he's saying. I love what he's talking about. And I love this move even more because Mr. Vivek Ramaswamy went up into the hood. He went up into Chi-Town, baby. He went up into Chicago, South Side, and had a conversation with the residents in that area. And he showed up. He talked about his truths. He talked about the border. He talked about illegals. Yeah, he brought the smoke in truth. Now, the residents had questions and he laid it out pretty. He said, you know what? You're in this situation. There's migrants, yeah, but you know why? Because your mayor done said, come on down. Like Joe Biden said, we're not building walls, we're building bridges. So come on down into Chicago. We're going to have a spot for you. $7,000 a month is what it takes to feed them and house them per individual. $7,000. $7,000 is what it takes to feed and shelter these people. On the taxpayer dime, friend. The taxpayer on the Chicago resident dime. It's pretty sad, but this is what it is. This is reality. This is what you voted for. This is what you voted for. You voted out, you put out Lori Lightfoot, and then you put one even more progressive than she is. So this is what you're facing. This is the situation. This is what you're facing. You voted for it. You did it. And again, I'm excited to see how they vote in 2024. You think they might vote for Vivek? You think they might vote Biden out? Who knows? Their mentality is too stuck onto the Democrat talking points. You know, because they're going to have somebody come out here and say Republicans is this and Republicans is that. But that Vivek was a strong candidate to go up in there in Chicago, sat in the barber's chair and was not afraid. That man's got guts. Let's go into the video. Let's see what he does.
Just got out of my event on the south side of Chicago. It was a eye-opening experience. These are not the people who Republican primary contenders usually talk to. I think that should change. I learned a lot from today. This is a community that has actually faced some similar challenges to those of us in the America First movement have also been pointing out. The challenges posed by illegal migrants showing up and encamping our cities. That's affecting Black Americans here in the south side of Chicago. It's affecting all Americans across the country. I think we have a lot of common cause here in finding ways to invest in Americans and actually use our resources to help all Americans rather than those whose first act of entering this country breaks the law. I also learned a lot. I think there's a lot about how Republicans, first of all, here's the thing I learned. We can win just by showing up. And not enough conservatives, not enough Republicans do it. We're going to be traveling the country. Next stop is going to be Kensington on this part of our national tour across the cities. Kensington is a part of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where, forget Republican politicians, even the police don't show up when they're supposed to show up. Well, guess what? I think that if more of us who aspire to be leaders of this country also start showing up, we actually not only learn things, but we have conversations that we're not having of a kind in this country we've had in decades. And the more we do that, I think the more we position ourselves to deliver not just a landslide election in 2024, but a national agenda that unites all Americans against the, really the perils of illegal immigration to a lot of the threats that start outside of our own soil, but affect Americans here at home. I'm actually quite hopeful, in a pretty good mood, and pretty enthusiastic about what I think we can accomplish.
Wow. Vivek is deep in the belly of the beast. And he's going to go to Philadelphia. even deeper. Not even the police go there. Wow. I said we got ourselves maybe a strong, able, capable individual who ain't afraid to go into the hood. He ain't afraid to go into the hood. That's what we want to hear, Vivek. We want to hear you can go into the ghetto and you can talk to the people and make them understand what they're facing, and where else better to do that than in the city of Chicago, where their mayor has declared them a sanctuary city where the shootings happen every weekend. People are dropping dead. And so, I mean, it's tough. So let's continue with the video. Let's continue to hear Mr. Vivek Ramaswamy. Before we move on with the video, just a quick word from the sponsor of this video, Mammoth Nation. Thank you guys so much for your support. Save America, save our values, save our traditions. Stop using woke platforms to spend your money. Stop. This episode of The Conservative Poet is brought to you by Mammoth Nation. Mammoth Nation is a conservative marketplace where you, the patriot, can go and purchase the items that you need. Mammoth Nation is an online subscription-based platform. So you have to be subscribed in order to get all the wonderful discounts. You can get up to 70% discounts on so many of the stores. They have phone services, services for food, traveling, hotel. They refuse to let anti-American companies join their platforms. The vendors have been carefully vetted and have been approved of conservative American values, which is one of the reasons we have partnered, because I do love what they offer. I love that they are offering opportunities to American vendors and American creators as well. So we are trying to put America first here. And that's one of the things we do on this channel. And so I support Mammoth Nation and what they do to put conservative American businesses first. So visit Mammoth Nation today so you can get the discounts that you deserve with American-made products. So use code AmaniaS, that's AMANIAS. Again, that's AmaniaS for your discounts today on these amazing opportunities.
But help on the ground. But we on our side also talk a big game about America first without actually bringing all of America along with us. And what I saw in that room today was a room of people which says we're all in this together. Yes, we have been left behind by professional politicians who will help somebody who illegally crosses the southern border more than they help somebody here in our own community. But there's a better way. System is far more constraining. Public schools are in regions like this, that we're going to have to rethink in even deeper ways that just a president alone is not going to be able to address. It's going to take all of us doing it from the bottom on up. I also think that this is an opportunity for, if I may speak to my fellow conservatives, for conservatives to do better than we have in showing up. Yes, we criticize the Democratic Party, and for good reason. So that's where I'm at.
So Mr. Vivek said a couple of wonderful points right there. Is that conservatives don't show up in the deep blue Democrat areas. So for example, in the city of Orlando, we have elections in November. And this area is very, very blue. When I say it's demonically blue, it is demonically blue. And so we have a mayor here, Buddy Dyer, who has been in mayorship, who's been the mayor for 20 years. Some say 24 years, I don't know, but he's been in there at 20 years at least. And it is time for him to pack up his bags and retire, But he's not doing that. He is running again for another term. And so we have nobody coming out here to get into this race to take on the machine that is Buddy Dyer. Again, blue Democrat who has done nothing good for the people. When you look at it, we've got homeless camps showing up here. Gosh, I was out just yesterday, and we saw some of the camps. I wish I pulled over and taken footage, but I didn't. But you know what makes me think that I will have to do that sometime soon and get some footage so we can really show what's happening here in Chicago, in Orlando. Oh God, we're going to be turning into Chicago. But this is what's happening. The mayor is very open to all of this happening. Homeless camps everywhere. It's happening to us here. And so we need new people in. We need new conservatives. We need conservatives into these races. But they're not getting in because, hey, they can't win the seat because Buddy Dyer is a machine. And that's across the country. A lot of Democrat areas, people aren't running in these races because they don't think that they can win, so that they don't even try. So let us continue with Mr. Vivek and the barbershop conversations. I'm saying he's in there. He's letting them people cut his hair. He's a brave soul. That's a hero right there. That's a hero right there. Brave soul in Chicago. Republican in Chicago. Very brave soul.
I need you to respond to that. If you give everybody that same chance, some people that would not catapulted on the same platform are still going to be ahead of us. We will never close the wealth gap in the country. When you say race, I'm not talking about race. I'm talking specifically about this. No. Y'all not talking about black people. Because you would come from Nigeria and be over here and be classified as black.
And that's what people benefit from.
Right, but I'm talking specifically descendants of slave people whose ancestors, right, was on picking cotton, was being whipped, was being hanged, was being recently in the news. I don't know if you have been saying, I don't know if talked about what the speed of your staff, but Governor Abbot has sent an influx of migrants.
Yep.
To Chicago.
Yep, he has.
This has been declared a sanctuary city. It's been a sanctuary city for a long time.
Yep.
I'm a Christian. I do believe in being a good neighbor, but I also believe in being a good steward. So a lot of the benefits that the migrants have been receiving, African Americans in this city have not been receiving those same type of benefits. When it comes to housing, when it comes to school, just when it comes to a lot of different perks and benefits.
Yep.
My question to you is, and the South Shore High School, as you know, is going to house possibly thousands of migrants, right?
Yeah, we're going there next.
A lot of our neighbors feel away about that. My question to you is how would you handle that situation? How would you handle the influx of migrants? Because we definitely don't want anybody to be homeless, but in a sense, also, we definitely want to make sure that we are right toward making sure that African Americans who have been homeless have top priority as well. But how would you handle the situation tonight?
The way I look at it is, I don't blame the individual migrants as human beings. I'm going to preface it by saying that. If I was in their position, living a tough life in Honduras or Nicaragua or Mexico, maybe I'd be doing the same thing. But we live in a nation here. And we have to put Americans first. That's what it means to govern. So I would, Joe Biden, you got your new mayor here, they dance around this. I say we actually secure the border. We use the military, not to secure somebody else's border halfway around the world in Ukraine or wherever else. Use our own military to secure our own border. And for people here whose first act of entering this country broke the law, treat them humanely. Treat them respectfully, but you have to go back and come back through the legal process if you're going to come at all. And then the last piece was $7,000 a month per migrant is what they're spending. Those same dollars can actually be used to support development that helps Americans right here at home.
Truth.
So I think that if there's one wake-up call, if we can do this, if we can have baby formula and expensive sneakers and $7,000 a month for somebody whose first act of entering this country broke the law, that reveals that we can actually be doing more to help Americans right here at home, including Americans in this community in the south side of Chicago.
I appreciate that. What do you feel about people who say that Governor Abbott is using the migrants as political pawns?
So to tell you, I don't like partisan politics very much, but I'm going to speak truth. It's Chicago that was calling itself a sanctuary city.
Truth.
Right? Your mayor boasts to the country that we're a sanctuary, that we're the ones who are going to make people come. So I don't blame in this case
Truth.
the person who's saying, I'm protecting the residents in my state. If somebody else wants to say that they're a sanctuary city, and then people actually send them, I think it's your mayor that bears accountability for that. I'm not blaming him for the sake of blaming him. I'm blaming him. I think that the citizens of this city can hold him accountable to say that, you know what, how about you look after the people who actually lived here and voted for you and pay taxes here and actually live here and whose families have lived here, rather than solving somebody else's problem somewhere else. That's where I think the problem actually was.
A little bit of truth from our friend Vivek. That's his thing. I like that. Truth. They ain't got nothing else to say. I'm just going to give you truth. I'm just going to be transparent. I'm just going to give you truth. These people back there, I was paying attention to the audience. Like this girl right here, you can still see her face. She's still, I don't know what he talking about. She don't seem to be happy she don't seem too happy about the good news that he been talking about. That is your mayor that's got you in this situation. And then y'all voted. I'm sure she voted too. She was remembering her vote. Yeah, I voted for those fools. That's what she's thinking right there. She is looking upset right there. And then there was another guy too during the interview. He was just, oh my God, is he really saying these things? It's our mayor? How dare you? Yeah, it's your mayor with his psychotic policies who says, yeah, come on down. We welcome you. Like Joe Biden said during the campaign, we ain't gonna build bridges. We gonna build, what do you say? We're not gonna build walls. We're going to build bridges. We're not building walls. We're building bridges. Well, here's what building bridges got y'all, friends. It got you a whole bunch of people in your community who is taking over your community. You no longer own it. They're putting them in your schools. They're closing down your rec centers. They've got camps going on. They're sleeping in your police station. Your policeman can't even come to see about y'all shooting each other because they too busy seeing about the migrants. They too busy seeing about the migrants. The police station has turned into a sleeping camp. The police station. I mean, are we in a third world country? No, we's just in Chicago. We's just in the inner cities. We's just in the hood. That's where we at. We's in the hood. And this is what happens. Resources being taken up. These people barely had any resources to begin with. Y'all ain't had no resources. You know? I mean, you got some great people come out of there. You got Obama's up in there. Oprah's up in there. You got, some serious people up in there. Jennifer Hudson up in there. All them people come out of Chicago. But none of them are standing up and speaking about this travesty that's happening in your community. Don't their families still live out there? Oh, girl, Amania, they don't move them out, honey. They don't move them out. No, they don't live there no more. They done packed up and moved everybody out. But it is so sad to see what's happening there. But I'll tell you what, that Vivek is beastly. That took gumption for him to go out there in Chicago and do that. That took gumption. And I praise him for standing up and going out there into these liberal areas. And he says he's going to another area, Philadelphia, that's even worse. So good for him for standing up and doing this. And, maybe we should send invitations out to you to come out here to Florida. Vivek, you got Trump here, DeSantis here. A little invite to Vivek Ramaswamy to do some business here in Orlando. Put on a rally up in here. Have a conversation with Orlando's people. That'd be interesting. That'd be real interesting to see. So, any event, that is the video. I'm so glad that you all joined. Thank you for watching and getting abreast. I'm going to cover Vivek a little bit more. And this video was out back in May. This happened, but it's taken me a while to get to it. And because I'm loving Vivek right now and what he's got going on, so I will cover him more on the channel and see his travelings across the country and doing his thing. And at some point, I am going to respond to that Breakfast Club hideous interview, that shameless interview on the Breakfast Club with those idiots. And so, but I will probably do that at some point. But I just wanted to respond to this real quick. So thank you all for watching and sharing and subscribing to the channel. Things is moving along, and I'm just so grateful to you all for that. So thanks again. You take care, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.